Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And today I do really want to talk about the BRICs, because I think that this is one of the largest retail PSYOPs in history. And we're going to go over why. Now, a lot of people have been focused on de-dollarization. They've been talking about, what the BRICs are doing, the BRICs expansions. It's headline article after headline article to make sure everyone is watching, clicking, and reading all about these moves being made. Now, one thing that I've been very clear on this channel is the fact that as we really kind of look at what's happening around BRICs, we are seeing acceleration happening behind the scenes within a digital system, aka CBDCs, stablecoins, DLT, blockchain, you name it. And I'm going to go over in this video exactly how they have been distracting you. So let's dive into it. So first off, let's talk about the headline articles. This is literally headline article after headline article for the last roughly month. And you could see the dates here, like 1 week ago. This one was from April, then 1 week ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 days, 1 day. And it's all centered out on the same exact thing. US dollar dominance, de-dollarization, expediting de-dollarization, even how digital currency could be the key to de-dollarization around Russia moving towards the CBDC, which you guys probably know about that news. If you don't know, Russia is essentially working on a CBDC. They're moving pretty quick on that as well. But as we do look at this, right, like everyone is focused on what is the US going to do, what's going to happen with the US dollar. And I've said it, right? Like I've mentioned this time and time again, that the US is not just sitting back and letting things happen like this. Everyone wants the US to do that, right? Everyone's like, oh, well, that's what we're seeing. And that's, what the US is going to do as well, because everyone is looking at politics and this and that, which again is just another distraction away from the true facts here. And the true facts are that, going all the way back to 2022, March of 2022, mind you, so well over a year ago, this is when we seen the sanctions imposed on Russia. And from there, we've seen major pushback, especially from Russia and the BRICs. But at the same exact time, nobody really cared about the executive order that got passed. That's right, the executive order on ensuring responsible development of digital assets, March 9th, 2022. This is all centered out on central bank digital currencies. And all this is centered out on is ensuring that the US retains its dominance and control over the financial system. We must reinforce the United States leadership in the global financial system and in technological and economic competitiveness, including through the responsible development of payment innovations and digital assets. The US has an interest in ensuring that it remains at the forefront of responsible development and design of digital assets and the technology that underpins new forms of payments and capital flows in the international financial system, particularly in setting standards that promote democratic values, the rule of law, privacy, the protection of consumers, investors, and businesses, and interoperability with digital platforms, legacy architecture, and international payment systems. Okay, so this is them not only focusing on, pretty much everything, I should say, around the financial system, right? Like they're trying to implement digital platforms within the legacy infrastructure. And this is all centered out on international payment systems as well. And we even do see down here that they are talking about, the traditional banking system, including by making investments in domestic and cross-border fund transfers and payments faster, cheaper, safer, and by promoting greater and more cost-efficient access to financial products and services. Like all of this is, it sounds great on paper, but the problem is that this is all centered out on CBDCs, which we've talked about it, right? CBDCs are going to happen. They're coming. But those that are awake will already be prepared for this. But again, I always say, like, there's such a small percentage of people that are actually awake to this. Most people are distracted. They don't care. They're too busy digesting all the nonsense on, TikTok or Netflix, on this, that, whatever. This is what we should be paying attention to, this executive order. We do see the fact sheet over here. They had to release this as well the same day. So President Biden to sign executive order on ensuring responsible development of digital assets. Check this out. CBDCs are mentioned 6 times. So over 100 countries are exploring or piloting central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, a digital form of a country's sovereign currency. They also do talk about the rise in digital assets creates an opportunity to reinforce American leadership in the global financial system and at the technological frontier, but also has substantial implications for consumer protection, financial stability, national security, and even climate risk. And then down here, they also do mention even more things around the CBDC. Here's where they do talk also about exploring a US CBDC. By placing urgency on research and development of a potential United States CBDC, should issuance be deemed in the national interest, the order directs the U.S. government to assess the technological infrastructure and capacity needs for a potential U.S. CBDC in a manner that protects Americans' interests. Now, here is where things get very interesting, because we just recently seen the FedNow system launch, which essentially is the digital rails for CBDC. The order encourages the Federal Reserve to continue its research, development, and assessment efforts for a U.S. CBDC, including development of a plan for broader U.S. government action in support of their work. And remember that the Federal Reserve recently in San Francisco posted a job posting for CBDC research and development. This effort prioritizes U.S. participation in multi-country experimentation and ensures U.S. leadership internationally to promote CBDC development that is consistent with U.S. priorities and democratic values. Very, very interesting. Now, at the same exact time that we are seeing this, R3, which you guys probably already know about R3, recently just posted this. The Digital Dollar Project has announced the completion of its retail CBDC pilot. The report discusses the benefits, considerations of a U.S. digital dollar to enable cross-border payments using DLT. For those that don't know about the Digital Dollar Project, this is a significant organization. In fact, when you go over to the Digital Dollar Project's website and you go to the About section, here's where they talk about the Digital Dollar Project. They identify options for a CBDC solution to help enhance monetary policy effectiveness and financial stability, provide needed scalability, security and privacy in retail, wholesale, and international payments, and integrate with existing financial infrastructures, including the U.S. Federal Reserve related projects. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, again, as we look at the project partners, very significant players here, what's funny about this, when we come over here to the board of directors, one individual stands out, and that is Chris Giancarlo. For those that don't know who this individual is, he's a substantial leader around the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission. He was a previous chairman for them, and also he served as a member of the Financial Stability Oversight Committee as well, the President's Working Group on Financial Markets, and the Executive Board of the International Organization of Securities Commissions. This is also an individual that has called XRP a currency. When we go over here to July 13th, this is where we've seen the big announcement around XRP. Here you have Chris Giancarlo. He's talking about how him and his colleague talked about how XRP is not an investment contract subject to regulation as a security. And also, here you guys have him on Fox talking about XRP is not a security as well. Chris knows XRP, and he even was seen retweeting a ton of things around XRP, the SEC, digital assets, and he continues to talk a little bit more about XRP. I mean, this guy has been following Ripple for a very long time and the space for a very long time, and he's on the board of directors for the Digital Dollar Project, which is a US-based CBDC project that is here to, again, like I said, explore the options and the solutions and even the efficiencies around a US CBDC and how to integrate it within the existing financial infrastructure. I've told you guys many times that Ripple's already tied back to the US. It is the best in class technology. Call me crazy, call me, a conspiracy theorist. I don't care what you call me. Listen, at the end of the day, I have done my research. I've connected the dots. In my opinion, there is absolutely zero possibility of Ripple and XRP not being a crucial piece of the puzzle for a US CBDC. We already know that Ripple is building out the infrastructure on their platform to issue out stablecoins and CBDCs, and it's bridged perfectly by XRP. But also, Within this breakdown, we know that this is a retail CBDC pilot with Western Union focused on cross-border payments, and they're utilizing a DLT platform. We don't know what the DLT platform is, but this is also with support from Accenture. This is very interesting, and it's all leveraging DLT, as you guys do see here, to simulate the payments infrastructure necessary to transfer digital dollars to the Philippine pesos. The findings have been published in the Digital Dollar Project's white paper, Retail Cross-Border Remittance Payments. And you know what's funny about this? First off, I think that this is huge. I don't know if Ripple and XRP are tied back to this at all. Probably not, right? But what's funny is that this is all centered out within the Philippines. And it's kind of comical about the Philippines because we already know that Ripple has a substantial name in the Philippines. Now, of course, you know, this is me kind of grasping at straws here, if you will. But I do think that's very significant that this was a transfer between digital dollars to Philippine pesos when, you know, like I said, Ripple has just recently, 7 days ago, if you will, they got showcased by SBI, which is a financial giant. And this is for its usage for on-demand liquidity remittances in Japan and Philippines. Over here, this is all centered out on remittances within the US dollar to the Philippine pesos. It's very interesting. I mean, connections here, connections there. You know, we have to wait until we actually fully have confirmation. But I do think that's very significant that we are seeing things move very, very fast. While, like I said, everyone is focused on what's happening around the BRICs. We know that a BRICS meeting, the summit, is happening on August 22nd to the 24th. Recently, we've seen Crypto Insight UK actually post this, which this is from the Brazil president. He's calling for an end of the US dollar's trade dominance. We do see an interesting thought here. Remember how Christine Lagarde said that the ECB would be making a decision about the use of a digital euro in August, which is now. Last week, we saw a statement from the South African Prime Minister regarding BRICS. He said there would be an announcement made surrounding new members of the BRICS nations at their annual summit. There's also speculation on the announcement of a digital or gold-backed currency at this event to compete with the dollar. This event takes place on the 22nd to the 24th, 3 weeks away. And then yesterday, Brazil are the B in BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. This is wild speculation, but is it about to become a race to a digital financial system? And that's one thing that I've been talking about, is that we are at a major point in time where we are seeing a digital race. It's a race towards this new financial system, West versus East. And, you know, a lot of people were talking a little bit about this. We even do hear, like, I wonder how they're going to do FX with other nations after moving away from the US dollar as a world currency. Great points. I have some more too. The Russian central bank tested on the XRP ledger for sure. Brad met with the Brazilian president. I don't have loads about China. There's a few connections to China. I made a video on it. But don't forget, this I wrote about India. And yes, there's a ton of connections to India from Ripple. I mean, Ripple has major connections to BRICS. So it wouldn't surprise me if they started pioneering XRP for FX trade. But also over here, I think the West may have already lost the race. That is the story we are being fed. I can't say I disagree particularly. I just find it odd how we are having the narrative pushed on us so hard that the West is done. And this is one thing, right? Like, everyone is so focused on the BRICs killing the West, if you will. And it's just, I don't think that that is the case. I don't think that that is the case at all. And we even do see down here, like, I don't buy it either. And then we have Macron and others telling us we should reduce the reliance on the USD in trade. Problem for the US with having the world reserve currency is the Triffin dilemma, etc. And here you guys have the chairman of the Federal Reserve System from 2006 to 2014, swelled by Ripple. This was 2016, I think, or 2017. So we do see, is he speaking at swell, first swell in 2017? Oh, okay. But yes, something is going on more than we know right now. And again, like I said, like the Federal Reserve System, there's so many connections back to Ripple, especially with this recent announcement with R3, with the Digital Dollar Project. We know that R3 had at some point in time exposure, to XRP. And now, you know, like I said, with Chris Giancarlo pioneering XRP the way he has over on Twitter, I mean, he celebrated the win with the SEC very big. I mean, listen, he practically should just be an XRP maxi at that point, because, you know, he was celebrating hard over on Twitter while all the Bitcoin maxis were hating on it. It's definitely significant, right? Like everything is happening in real time around this new digital financial system, and it's being accelerated all by the BRICs, all by de-dollarization. I think that this is all one big PSYOP, and most are missing the actual target here. And I think that the target is that the US is preparing a CBDC system to compete with all of the other nations. And what we are about to see is the rise of this new digital financial system. But maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Definitely hit that like button if you guys do agree. But with that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, definitely hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. This was up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are on this video. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.